Hi, I'm Julia. Welcome to my garden. Today is a planting video, even though it is September and it is fall here in Vermont. I do most of my planting in the spring, but it is okay to plant now. I have at least 4 weeks, probably closer to 5 or 6 before we're expected to get a frost, so they should have enough time to root in. Today I am planting some peonies and some nepeta that I picked up earlier this spring. I'd been meaning to get to this bed and I just hadn't gotten to it yet. You will have seen this area if you watched my around the house tour I did recently. So this is the south side of my house. Early in the year we did put a Ruby Tears crabapple in here. I love it. And I had a bird bath that I had next to my hydrangeas just temporarily, and I moved it to where I had planned on it being, and I love the placement. It looks great out my windows. It looks great coming down the driveway. So we're planting around that today. We have had so much rain. Today is like a nice break, and then we're supposed to get 2 days straight of more rain. So I don't know if I'm going to even need to water these plants in. We're going to see how the soil goes, but I just need to get them in the ground. And I gotta say, it is beautiful out right now. I'm working in a bit of shade, and there's a breeze coming through. It's lovely, lovely weather. The crickets are very loud though, so excuse those. Let's get to planting. So you can see the bed here. My husband helped me clear out this space. It was all tall weeds like the ones you see behind the tree. And I just wanted to get these planted, and then we will continue to work on clearing this out and hopefully put some cardboard and mulch down before snow comes. I do have a little dwarf Alberta spruce back there as well that's going to stay, but pretty much everything else is going to go in this area. And then I'm also still working, I'll give you a little peek on this area as we go down. There's been a few things planted. That trellis is new this year, but for the most part we're just going to try to clean up this area and get some of these plants in. The nepeta is going to be going here around the bird bath, and then this way the peonies are kind of spaced out. They're all different varieties, but all with pink flowers. And my thought was I would space those out so they'd kind of echo each other. And then the bed will be expanded a little bit. The edge will be brought out a little bit. And hopefully I'll be able to put things in front of them and kind of drifts in front of and in between them. Hopefully I'll be able to work on that more next year. So there's the nepeta. It's all in and tucked in. The variety is Walker's Low. Let's see if I can let you see that. And it is supposed to get 24 to 36 inches high, so 2 to 3 feet, and 18 to 24 inches wide. So this will fill out quite a bit. I'm hoping just be all around the base of the bird bath, and kind of, this is, I believe, about 3 feet high. So it should just come up and just gracefully hit the top of the bird bath. And then this is the first year I'm planting nepeta, so I don't have a ton of experience with it, but my understanding is that you can let it grow and then cut it back mid-season and you should get a second flush. So we'll see how it goes in my zone. I have another variety of nepeta I planted over on another side of my house this year, so I might play around with it and see what works best for me. I also wanted to mention that I did plant them just a little bit high. We do have pretty heavy clay soil. It can get pretty wet here, depends on the year. This has been a very, very wet year for us here in Vermont. And these would prefer to dry out between waterings. So I did try to plant them a little bit high, and hopefully that will protect them a bit. Now for the peonies. And the peonies are in. So I just wanted to tell you a little bit about them before we wrap this up. These are all Peony lactiflora. I hope I'm saying that right. Yeah, lactiflora. And that's the herbaceous or common garden peony. So most places you see peonies, this is the kind you see. There's also Ito peonies and like tree peonies. I think Ito is a mix between the two. So these herbaceous peonies are the ones that I see the most often. They die back in the fall, you cut the leaves, and then in the spring little new shoots will pop up. And they do need like a winter cold, so they don't do well in zones that don't get that cold. Luckily, where I am, that's one thing I do have. I have a cold winter here in Zone 5 in Vermont. So we do have one peony bush that has been here since before we moved in, and it does beautifully every single year. I do know that they don't like to have their roots moved though, so I haven't tried to move that one. I may in the future just because it's not in a great place. But because of that, I took a little bit of extra time to make sure these were where I wanted them. Again, I'm hoping to be able to do some drifts of other things in front and around them. A couple things, they sometimes can take a couple years to bloom. The two I have on either side are smaller, and so I knew that when I bought them at the nursery they were a little less expensive, and they may not bloom next year. We might have to wait another year or two. But the one in the middle, I can't remember if it was blooming at the nursery, but it seems much more established. It was a little bit more pricey, and I'm hoping to get some blooms off of it next year. So let me tell you a bit about the varieties. This one closest to me over here, I don't know if you can see her. There she is. She and one of the other ones are really starting to color up because it is into the fall. That is the Sarah Bernhardt variety. My understanding, she's quite popular. And it is supposed to get to 34 to 36 inches tall and wide. And it is hardiness zone 3 through 8. So that's actually farther south than I thought it would go. The one in the middle there is Madame Emily de Bottain. Yep, here. So this actually does have pink in it. It's like pink and white. And it's just that it's been out all year, and so the picture has faded. But it gets a little bit smaller actually, so it's closer to its full size. I mean, it's not quite completely there, but it should get 18 to 24 inches tall and wide. And then the last one over on the end is the Fawn. There. And this says 30 to 36 inches tall and 24 to 36 inches wide. So they're all in that 2 to 3 feet range, and again, it'll get new growth every single year. It blooms for us, it blooms like late May, very beginning of June for us, usually. That's when my other one blooms. So that's what I'm expecting these to all bloom, and they will be a wonderful pop of spring color out here in my garden. While I was out here, I had found some rocks while we were digging this out. There was kind of a path through there with some random rocks, and we took that out. It was all covered up with plants, but there were some fun looking rocks, so I kind of just placed them, and we will be coming back in and putting cardboard and mulch around, so I'll have to pick them up and put them back on top of the mulch. But I think it looks cool. I love having those natural elements of rock and sticks and other things in the bed too. If you know they're put purposely in there, I really love that look. So I'm excited to have some rocks of my own. That is it for me today. It is beautiful out, and it is just about time to go in and have dinner and do bedtime. As always, I hope you are all well and enjoying your gardens. Until next time, happy gardening.